welcome students in our today's session. In our today's lecture, we will talk about the poem Once Upon a Time by Gabriel Okara. So this poem is prescribed in BA Part 3rd, Paper 1st of Poetry and Drama in MGSU Bikaner. So before moving ahead, let's have a brief introduction of our today's poet, who is Gabriel Okara. So students, Gabriel Imaotimi Bengbeng Okara is a Nigerian poet and novelist who was born in Bamondin, Bayelsa State in Nigeria. He studied journalism at Northwestern University in 1949. From bookbinding to being the information officer for the Eastern Nigerian Government Service, Okara was largely a self-educated man. His poems entitled Piano and Drums and the other one is You Laughed and Laughed became very popular. Okara's poetry actually mirrors his anxiety about colonialism. He was quite apprehensive about what would happen when the ancient culture of Africa is faced with modern Western culture. He pursues that theme in his novel also, that is The Voice, and in his poem Once Upon a Time, critiquing soulless lives and machine-like existence of modern-day humanity. In addition to his poetry and fiction, Okara has also written plays and features for broadcasting. Many of his manuscripts were destroyed during the Nigerian Civil War in 1979. He was also awarded the Commonwealth Joint Poetry Award for his poetry. So this is all about the poet, and our today's poem is Once Upon a Time by Gabriel Okara. It actually tells about the poet's ideology, about the theme of the loss of innocence, or the loss of innocence youth. So this is a poem in which the speaker or the poet, he laments the lost innocence of his youth. In it, he condemns the hypocrisy of adults hemmed in and constrained by rules and conventions, adopting masks for different occasions, like for lying, for cheating, and for betraying, whereas he says the childhood that is portrayed as a time of honesty, of laughter and spontaneity. So here, this poem is a free verse poem that focuses on a conversation which is going on between a father and a son. Here we find that the father's attitude is father's attitude towards cultural change and times past, before the coming of Western culture that affected the native African way of life. So in the poem, here is a man, presumably a father, who addresses to his son, telling him in nostalgic manner how the things have been changed with the passage of time, and now why he is lamenting on such lost youth and the older, or we can say traditional ways of life, and his own childhood, his lost youth, all these things. So students, now come to the text of this poem. Here we are. I'm reading for you. Once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes, but now they only laugh with their teeth, while their eyes blow cold eyes surge behind my shadow. So here we can say that the tone of this poem is very much ironic, and perhaps the speaker, he knows the deep inside, that he will never again laugh on just like the same way which he used to do during his childhood or during his youth. So here he says, when he says that laugh with their hearts, it means that laughter that is very much natural, very much original. Cold eyes suggest here that the eyes which are emotionless, or means which don't have any feelings or emotions. So here the speaker is lamenting on a certain aspect, that he suggests that he is addressing to his own son. So this could be a father who is beginning to explain how things used to be, how people. So here the word they suggest the people of his lifetime, how the people used to laugh with their hearts and eyes. So back then in the past time. So in contrast, what changes have been done, or what happened now? He says that, but now they only laugh with their teeth. So with their teeth actually suggests that there is a kind of artificiality in their behavior, in their manners, while their eyes block cold eyes search behind my shadow. So in contrast to the older days, nowadays laughter is more of a show of teeth, and the eyes are cold and looking for something other than the real person. So the things are remarkably have been changed. The things are changed. So already the present time is being judged by the past here. And from what we can gather from these first lines, the speaker prefers here the attitudes of the people from the past. So there is the feeling that negative change is here, something negative which has happened, and that the speaker doesn't like. He doesn't prefer the way the present time people are living. So with their eyes block cold eyes search behind my shadows. How the nowadays or modern days people or their attitudes have been changed. They have become totally they are guided by the materialistic attitude of their life, towards their life. So that is something happening which is which seems to be awkward to the poet here. There was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts, but that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts, while their left hand search my empty pockets. So here these lines are very much ironic, and the poet, when he says hands search my empty pockets, it suggests that the today's relationship are measured only in terms of how much power one has or how much money one has in his own pocket. So there was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts. So he says here, the art of shaking hands has also changed. In the past, a greeting was genuine. A person welcomed for who they were. But nowadays, what happened? Nowadays, people shake hands with one eye on your status, or we can say on your financial status, that how much money one particular person has. So he is measured by only on his financial status. So people are no longer genuinely warm towards others. So people are on the make wanting to get something from you. So their hands are, or their eyes are always on the money or the pockets of the person to whom he is greeting. So that is something very, very materialistic. That suggests the materialistic attitude of modern day people. Now, moving ahead, feel at home, come again, they say. And when I come again and feel at home, once, twice, there will be no thrice, for then I find doors shut on me. So, feel at home. This suggests that the comfort level of the guest or of the person. So here, when again the speaker is going to reveal the realistic picture in front of us, that when people invite you, people invite his or other relative, or they may be their relatives, their friends, or some customers, we can say their official people. When they invite you around their homes, it seems it seems that they are making out of as if you are very, very very much important person to them. But if you don't measure up socially, or your status isn't quite right, you are not invited again. So the alienation, the kind of alienation between relationship, or in relationship, that is always continuous, that is going on. When it suggests that people nowadays are very much artificial and fickle minded, because of the change in their culture, because of the change in their ideology, in their behavior. So that suggests the artificiality in their manner, that at one time they make you they say that, oh, come again, come again, but when you go again and again, so there will be no thrice. There once and twice you can visit your near and dear one, but there will be no thrice. It seems that the doors you will find again on in the next time, you will find the doors shut down on your face. So that is something happening nowadays, and that is very much awkward, which the poet is considering here. And again, what is next, what he's saying, what is he conveying here? Let's proceed. So I have learned many things, son. I have learned to wear many faces like dresses: home face, office face, street face, host face, cocktail face, with all their conforming smiles like a fixed portrait smile. So in this third stanza, we can outline here that the speaker's perception of changing culture and attitudes and values in his own country, that how the attitudes and values of people in their culture or in their behavior patterns are changing. So in this stanza, the speaker describes that how he himself had to change and learn in order to comply. He uses a comparison that faces two dresses, that how the faces of people are compared to the artificial dresses of people. So it actually highlights the various personas of people when they take on, all the while smiling. So the repeated use of face here affixed to various places and situation is highly visual. That people put on or wear many faces like dresses. The faces like when home face, office face, street face, cocktail face, etc. So that is something which suits to their mood or their situation, that whatever demands on that particular times, they used to change their faces. So, and likewise their smiles also. So that is something, the smile is always mm, uh, in a very routine and fixed manner, that when we find that the smile which we see in a fixed portrait, in a picture, that is always, that remains always the same. So like in this manner, the smile of today's people is that something become very much artificial, and we can say fake, in a way that they always wear fake smiles. So that is something the speaker uh, considers that very much problematic or unacceptable in his own way. Now moving ahead, what he says: and I have learned to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. So, in this stanza, the speaker is confessing the fact that he has also learned how to laugh with his own teeth, how to how to shake hands without his heart. It means that he has also changed his way of life, his culture. Uh, Here, when he says that good radiance, it means a kind of feeling of relief when an unwanted person leaves you, when he uh, says goodbye to that to his friend or somebody which has come to meet him, that he is uh, the speaker has used here so many uh, references like goodbye, good radiance, glad to meet you. So these are the ordinary welcoming words, or which uh, he has learnt on which occasion he has to use these terms, for which person, for to whom, or on which occasion he has to use these particular terms or welcoming terms. And now he has also learned these materialistic, these very fake bidding words, that suggest that uh, without being glad, he has to say that he is very glad to meet somebody. And these things suggest actually the artificial manners of modern day people. And when he greets somebody and he is not interested to meet him, actually he is not interested to meet him, but he has to meet him, he has to greet somebody. And if he is feeling bored with some person, but on um, in front of him, he has to confess that, oh, it's being very nice talking to somebody or talking to his friend or uh, some person. So that is how the behavior patterns have been changed nowadays, and that is something uh, which the poet to which the poet is not agree, or we can say the poet doesn't like, but he has to perform in this manner. uh, he has no other choice. Now, next, what he says, but believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be when I was like you. I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh. For my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. So, show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. So here the poet says fangs. A snake's bare fangs. Actually, this is very much remarkable phrase which has been used by the speaker here. And it is very much ironic here also. Fangs, snake bears fangs means poisonous teeth of snake, which is actually suggesting about the hidden ill will, thinking of some person muting. Muting means muting things. Muting means not expressed in speech, characterized by an absence of sound. So something which is not expressed with in sound. So in earlier stanza, when the speaker says that he has also become um, habitual of these things, or he has also become adept at the heartless handshaking and hollow toothed smile, and he also knows how to deceive people with his farewells and welcomes and false politeness. So basically, he is saying that he has become an integral part of this new culture. It's been quite an education for him. But true, but true to true to the core of his heart, what he actually wants or what he actually accepts, or in what he actually believes, is that he is not happy being a conformist. So speaker says that he wants to regain to the father. It actually expressing he is actually expressing his own true feelings in front of his son when he says that, but believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be when I was like you. That he is not happy being a conformist. He wants to regain a former innocence. The youngster, like his own son. Uh, so he wants that innocence, childhood innocence, youth, which his son holds. He wants no part of this new culture and all these muting things. I want to unlearn all these mutations and all these muting things that he has to somehow follow, but he doesn't want to part of this kind of new culture. That word muting actually means to deaden in this context. Deaden means something thus which is expressed in low sound or absence of, or in the absence of sound. So what the speaker wants most is to be able to laugh in innocence again. He likens himself to a snake. A snake, his teeth hold something toxic, even dangerous. So when he says, for my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs, he says that nowadays what he considers his own laugh like the Snakes bear fangs. He doesn't like his own laughter. It means that he is not able to laugh again in his own innocence way. His own laughter has become like a snake's laughter or snake's teeth, the smile, which is very dangerous. So, show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. So, at the end, he comes clearly, he comes clear in more clear in his own terms when he says he wants uh, to his own son to show him how to regain this lost innocence, how he can again access his own uh, innocence, smile, innocence, laughter, how to laugh and how to smile like in the old days when he was young and carefree, and the culture encouraged openness and honesty to pure identity. Here we can say that the speaker is lamenting on this very true or harsh fact that he has lost his own innocence, his own true, his own genuine smile, and he wants to relearn the his old smile from his own son, that how he can laugh. He show me how I used to laugh and smile. So in the whole poem we can find that a beautiful conversation is going on between a father and son, but which suggests a very meaningful message here, uh, as in the first stanza the poet remembers his own past when people had true feelings for each other, and something which is missing in the modern world, he feels. The people in the olden time who laughed heartily with their true feelings, and it reflected also in their eyes. So their feelings were genuine. But in the modern time, what happened? People hide their true feelings and their true smiles. So it suggests